Thank you for watching my video on driving the average speed. Okay, here we go. What I'm doing here is I'm simulating what happens at a normal traffic light situation. And you will see cars pile up, and they move. Okay. Now you will see the better alternative. Without changing traffic volume, what I did is I started the speed high to get that first guy in front to simulate what happens when someone races up to the light and stops. And the second driver you see is going to represent myself. Notice how I didn't stop completely, I sped up earlier, and that allowed actually 5 cars to pass the guy who raced up to the light. Interesting. Now we will see what happens if the person in front has wisened up a little bit. He will still get to the light first, but he is driving the average speed at least a little bit. Notice he doesn't come to a complete stop, and only 1 car can pass him. Now in a perfect world, you will see what happens if everyone drives the average speed, and everyone recognizes that there is a red light ahead. They don't rush to the light, instead they slow down early, going only 20 kilometers per hour in this simulation, and they start speeding up before it turns green. Oh, look at that. This is real, and you will see my real-life videos soon. Again, we will simulate what happens if the first person races up to the light. Oftentimes these people will race around me and cut me off, and you'll see what happens. Not only do I pass him, but 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 cars pass him. Okay, now we will simulate what happens with rush hour. And you can also see the correlation between this and regular freeway traffic waves and traffic jams. If the influx of traffic does not change, and the speed stays the same, and drivers are not driving the average speed, you see this wave can continue for a long time. And I'm sure you can all imagine and visualize this happening in real life in your everyday driving situation. Okay. Now we will see what happens if I, without changing the volume, I will change the speed down to simulate what happens if drivers will do the average speed. And let's see what happens with this traffic wave. Or jam, if you will. Isn't that interesting? At this point already, the jam is pretty much erased. I started to increase the speed to see if we can now increase everyone's speed. But I did it too early, and these drivers have very bad driving habits in the simulator. No one is driving the average speed. They're just going as fast as they can all the time. And you see what happens. Now, just to prove my point, you see this minor traffic wave that could be erased easily if I reduce speed limits. If I increase the speed limit here, which is actually simulating what happens if people are very aggressive drivers, this wave is growing immensely. And as you see, I just reduce the speed limit. As you can imagine what will happen, the traffic wave is eliminated. I do it every day, and it works. If we gradually increase the speed, you will see that I will be successful in increasing the speed without ever changing the traffic volume, which is a win-win situation. This works. I will show you videos in the future that it works. Knowing this is why I have determined that roundabouts are far superior to traffic lights. The reason being, even if I wanted to drive the average speed, sometimes I am hurting someone behind me if they are trying to get into the left-hand turn lane, and the left-hand turn lane will only trigger if their car is sitting on top of a sensor, meaning they are forced to hurry up and wait to the light, which, as you see, makes no sense. And basically, traffic lights, if you think about it, especially with green waves, they encourage a hurry up and wait mentality, which is aggressive, and again, makes no sense. The only intersection that is truly efficient and promotes average speed driving is a modern roundabout. Thank you for watching my video on driving the average speed. Hope you enjoyed it.